Hey, how y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Well, I just wanted to go over some things I use to practice with. Practice, manipulating knives and stuff in my hand. I usually try to practice with training tools first before I try to go to a live blade. And these are my training tools that I use. This is a training tool. These are the FGX series. I can't remember what they're called. I want to say Nightshade series or something like that. And these are actually Grivex knives. They're actually sharpened. But I use them as training tools. But these are actually sharpened. These actually be used for weapons if need be. And this is a Master Tonto, same thing. This is the Karambit, same thing. This is actually a weapon. I use it as a training tool. Now these are actually training tools, Cold Steel training tools. You can see that there's no edge at all on them. And this is a training tool Karambit. This is the one I really like to practice with because this one stabbed me actually before. I'm practicing with it. Now, as far as these knives go, I have learned. That's the reason why I think it's good to get these things and actually practice with them. And go on YouTube and there's lots of trainers on YouTube, and you can try to imitate what they're doing or whatever. You can do it by yourself. You don't have to actually go spend a bunch of money and go get a class or whatever. There's lots of things you can learn by yourself, especially with YouTube nowadays. But there's lots of trainers, and I would suggest go on YouTube and find yourself people that are training in a knife martial art that you'd be interested in. I thought I was going to be into Karambits, but Karambits turned out not to be for me. I have stabbed myself multiple times with Karambits. I got lots of stabbing scars from Karambits, from when you come around and you do the manipulations with the Karambit when you're flipping it around and stuff. Lots of times they'll come around and hit me right here. Boom! I've been stabbed a lot of times like that, and so I sort of don't like using these. That's my conclusion. I don't know. I have several Karambit knives. I thought I was going to be really into it because I thought Karambits, I see them in the movies like everybody else, and I've seen Doug Makita and all the different people that use Karambits and watch them. I just had to try it out, but it didn't work for me. I just don't have that much coordination, I guess. I don't know. It just didn't work for me. So, the Karambits aside, and I found out the knives that worked the best for me aren't even the double-edged knives. Double-edged knives, you always be worried about this other edge. And so it's like when you're manipulating around or you're doing different things, you always got to realize that both sides of the blades are live. Which is cool though if you're just using it as a stabbing instrument or something like that. Then I think that would be ideal for that, because this probably do the most damage, stabbing, other than a Chris style blade. But I just prefer to have I like a big flat side. That's obviously not, can't hurt me if it hits me or something like that. I only like having one live side. That's what I prefer. I like having one live side of the blade. That's my personal preference. And that's why I have decided that I like the best. And so that's what works for me. And some of my favorite knives are the Tonto blades, the American style Tonto. These are some of my favorite style blades. Why? Because they're super durable. And so it's not like a blade with a thin tip. If it hits a bone or something, the bone might snap the tip off, and you have a broken blade. This is durable. And so you get stabbed through a lot of things or whatever. If you want a combat knife, that's what you want it for. I know it sounds gross hearing somebody say that, but that's what the purpose of these things are for. These aren't, to fillet fish with or to dress a deer with. These are combat knives. These are meant for fighting. and protecting yourself and your loved ones. And sometimes that's necessary. You know, sometimes I think we all need to face that. You know, look what's happening. Look what's happening in Ukraine right now. You know what I mean? You never know when something can happen. Those people weren't expecting to get overran like that. And that, you know, to, you know, all of a sudden go from civilian mode to combat mode to war mode. You know, they weren't expecting on having to do that. They were just living their lives. But anyway, I think, you know, after seeing what's going on lately, I just feel like it's, you know, it's good for, you know, everybody to be prepared for stuff. And, you know, to always hope for the best, but always be prepared for the worst. But anyway, these aside, this video is going to be a fun video for those that like fixed blades. And especially for those that like cold steel fixed blades. Because we have a lot of cold steel fixed blades to go through. And I had more fixed blades than I thought I had. I didn't realize how many fixed blades I had. I've been, you know, having things for a lot of years. And a lot of these fixed blades that I'm going to show you are knives that, or some of them are total collectors for me. They've never been used, but others have been, you know, used a lot. You know, they've been my house knives or whatever. But anyway, let's kick it off. And the first one, if I can move my foot out the way so I won't be kicking the camera. The first one we got here. This one's been my house knife for a lot of houses I lived in. Ever since the 90s. And this is an oil bun. This is the original style oil bun. Cold steel oil bun. And yes, it's been all polished up because I've abused this knife and it's been through a lot. But it's still badass. That's what I like about cold steel knives. They could take, there's like a Ti-Lite watch. Remember the Ti-Lite watch commercials? You know, take a licking and keep on ticking. That's like a cold steel knife. Cold steel knives, you know. Now if you don't go around hammering cement and doing some stupid stuff, you know, these knives will last forever. If you just use them for cutting things like they're meant to be used for. I was raised to use tools for, you know, what the tool's meant for. I don't know, maybe that's the reason why I don't tear up stuff. I don't try to take a tool and use it for something it's not meant for. I don't know, just my philosophy. If a tool's built for something, that's what it's built for. Don't try to pretend like it's built for something else. If you want a wood crafting knife, get a wood crafting knife. If you want a fighting knife, get a fighting knife. They're not the same thing. Not all knives are created equal. Some of them are intended for different types of uses. This is a fighting knife. This was made to be a knife that protects you and your home and your family and your loved ones. Cold steel oil bun. Cold steel oil bun. I can't even remember how long this one was. I want to say it was like, I don't know, it must be like a 10-inch or something. I don't know, I can't remember. Or maybe it's a 9-inch. Maybe it's a 9-inch. This is the other oil bun. This one's even older than that one, but this one was a collected one. And remember when I tell you that I always like to oil the snaps? Well, this is the one that had the snap that broke. And this is the one that was made in Japan. This is a S.O.G Japan oil bun. Cold steel oil bun. I don't know if you can really read the labeling, but it says Japan. And this is one of the old ones that was made in S.O.G Japan. The other one I just showed you was made in Taiwan. No, I take it back. That's a Japanese one too. That was a Japanese one too. Haven't gotten to the Taiwan. Oh, we're not going to see the Taiwan. Okay. Never mind. I take it back. They're both Japanese. The original ones. These are the ones that they don't make anymore. I wish they would make these. I wish they would bring these back. And these were the budget blades. I can't remember how much I paid for them. But I want to say it's like $60 or something. It wasn't some big extravagant amount of money. Here's another one that's a really cool fighter in my collection. The OSS. It's a double-edged clip blade knife or Bowie style knife. Both sides are fully sharpened. So it's like a dagger Bowie. I think they still make these. And they make a high-end one. I think it's called the Bear Classic or something. And it has the, the polished, has the metal guards and everything, has the polished guards. But the blade is exactly the same, only it's a better steel. This one is, can't remember what steel this is. This one says made in Taiwan. This one's made in Taiwan. So this is probably an Oz 8. It's probably a US 8. So I think the original ones were 420 HC, I think it was. And the original ones were made in Japan. But this one's a Taiwan one. So this is the newer one. It's a Oz 8 one. I think I paid like $50 or $60 for this one too. Excellent knife. I've had it for, I don't know, over maybe 15 years or something like that. I don't know. Next one up. These are all budget blades, by the way, that I'm showing you right now. These are all these knives are under $100. Nothing's over $100. Most of them are under $50. And this one right here, I think is a awesome deal. This is the Outdoorsman Light. This one's a 4116 German corrupt stainless steel. This is a beautiful knife. I absolutely love this knife. I think I paid $23 for it. $23. I think I got it Midway. But this is the sheet that comes with. I don't care for these sheaths. It's one thing I don't like about this one is the sheath. But you can get a custom Kydex sheath, like I did for the my Master Tonto light. This is the Master Tonto light. This is another one I think is a great fighter. This is the 4116 corrupt stainless steel too. And this one was like $23 also. And then I had a sheath made for it because I didn't like the other sheath. This is one I decided I was going to carry, was a Tonto. As you all know, I like Tontos. So this one is one of my house knives. This is one of the ones that's on duty all the time, 24 hours a day. This is my other house knife, my little boot knife, my Kobun. And these are under $40. I think this is like $34 or something like that. This is made out of Oz 8. Japanese AUS 8A. And this is like a little boot knife. It also fits in your front pocket really nice. And the last budget blade I got to show you is my Karambit. This is the Karambit that I got to, the reason why I got the trainer and all that. Because I wanted to learn how to manipulate this. This is the one I gave up on. I don't carry this one. I'd be more afraid of hurting myself than hurting somebody else. Because I have stabbed myself with this thing a couple of times. It's not pleasant because this point, it just penetrates. It just goes into you like it ain't nothing to it. And it makes a nice little deep cut that hits a lot of blood vessels and blood goes everywhere. So, no. It's not for me. Alright. But for all y'all that like Karambits, rock on. It's the one for you. But I'm going to pass on it. Okay, next up, let me see what we're going to do next. Let's get into the higher end ones that I like to carry. They're the knives that I actually carry, if I want to carry one. We'll start off with this one, the Master Tonto. I absolutely love my VG10 San May knives. And this is my Master Tonto VG10 Sanmei. These are beautiful knives. I have 2 of these. I got one to use and one to collect. The thing I don't like about this one is the sheath, though. The sheath is kind of funky because it makes too much noise. I'm gonna have to get a Kydex sheath made for that one. Next one up is one I did get a Kydex sheath made for because I absolutely love this knife. Like I told you, I like the the Outdoorsman. This is the Sanmei VG10 Sanmei Outdoorsman. Absolutely love this knife. This is a great knife to take with you when you go fishing, hunting, all sorts of stuff. It's an awesome knife. And this is a Kydex sheath that I had made for it. Nice and quiet. Uses a K-bar clip. And it clips right to the side of your pants. Clips right over your belt. And it stays there. You don't need it comes in and out real easily. It's awesome. Awesome setup right here. This one right here. Oh yeah. We gotta get busy with it. Gotta bring it out. The Taipan. The VG10 Sanmei. The Sanmei VG10 Taipan. Double-edged Taipan. This is just sinister. That is one sinister blade I would highly recommend for a fighting knife. And they make these in a 3V and they're DLC coated too. I don't know if they're still making them, but I always wanted to get one. I think I might have missed out on that one. But I always wanted to get the new 3V. I think they have the 3V one, but I don't think it's coated though. And me myself, when it comes to carbon steels, I always like to have coated. I always like to have them coated. I really don't like to get carbon steels uncoated because I hate to have it sit for a while and come back when I want to see it and it's got rust on it. And the way you get around that, though, you can bathe them you can store them in grease. But carbon steels require a lot of maintenance. Things I like to store for a long term, I tend to like stainless steel knives. Like this. VG10 Sanmei. This is an awesome knife. This one's super badass. But like I said before though, when you got 2 edges, you got to worry about both sides of that blade when you get to swinging it around. So it's not my favorite type of knife to try to manipulate in my hand and stuff like this because it's got too much to think about. But I do love daggers. I do love daggers. And one of my favorite self-defense knives for fixed blades, oh yeah. Gotta break out the big boy. The 12-inch Magnum Series VG10 Sanmei. Talking about reach. This is more of a sword. This is like a short sword. It's beautiful too. These are beautifully made. If you don't have one of these Magnum Series Tontos, go get one. I don't care if you get the VG10 Sanmeis, the VG1 Sanmeis, or the new 3V uncoated, or if you can get one of the old 3Vs that are coated. These are awesome. They cost a small fortune though. These aren't cheap. These aren't cheap. I got this one when they were phasing them out. They thought they were going to phase them out anyway, I think. And they were under $200. But normally these are like a $300 to $400 knife. And then the same thing with the 3V ones. They're not cheap. These are extremely well made. These aren't cheap knives. Super high quality. VG10 Sanmei. The XII. Now for more heavy duty knives, ones I would pick that are in my collection. Let's start off with this one. My Italian-made Warcraft. This is an uncoated 3V blade. It's got the stone wash finish. When I store this, I store it in grease. Absolutely love this knife. I love the way it feels in my hand. This is a great utility knife for when you're out in the outdoors. I think it'd be a great survival knife. Absolutely love it. Full tank. Did I show you the full tank construction? Got a G10 handle that's removable, so if you need to clean it, you could really clean it, take it apart in the field. It's a beautiful knife. Touch the blade, so I need to wipe the blade. That's the way I do carbon steel knives. Whenever I touch the blade, I always wipe the blade. Alright. That's the I think it's a 5.5 inch Warcraft. Cold Steel Warcraft. Next one up. For small heavy duty knives, fixed blades. My AK-47. Made this pretty much the same way. This is even more heavy duty than the Warcraft. Got G10 handle scales. Thick, heavy duty blade. This is another knife I think would be a good survival knife. Super strong knife. It's got the AK-47 grip, which would be good for combat. Nice strong pommel. Super heavy duty knife. Another one I would highly recommend. Next up, SR1. This is a VG10 Samé SR1. Super thick blade stock. Another great survival knife that I would highly recommend. This one's stainless steel, so you don't have to worry about this one rusting. VG10 stainless steel, 5 millimeters thick. Beautifully made. Next one up. And this one they don't make anymore. This is an older version. This is a Recon. This is one that I always tell you guys about. This is where they used to originally make them, with carbon V steel. Carbon V is basically 1095 CV. It's the same formula as 1095 CV. Carbon 1095 CV had several different names during the 90s and 80s. Every manufacturer was given it their own name. And Cold Steel called 1095 CV Carbon V. So that's what this is. It's basically the same steel as a K-bar. Awesome. Super strong. It's got like a baked on parkerized finish. I'm not a big fan of the finish. That's why I don't use this one, because this kind of finish will wear off real easily. And this is a collector, because these have been out of production for a long time now. And I have other modern recon ones, or recons, that I use for actual use, that I can easily replace. But this is another great knife. If it has to go back into duty, it'd be awesome. It would do it very well. And this is my recon one. I mean, my recon that I carry now. It's a VG10 Sam May. Same size as the one that is the Carbon V one that you just saw. It's just different materials, more modern materials. Well, actually, I don't know if it's more modern. I don't know. Well, I guess VG10 is more modern than Carbon V. I don't think VG10 was around when Carbon V was around. VG1 was, but not VG10, I don't think. Beautiful knife. Well, let's lay them all out, huh? I'm gonna put the sheaths aside. But as you can see, I like cold steel knives. I am a true cold steel person. I've been liking cold steel knives for a long time. Sorry about that there. I didn't mean to bump the camera. Now with these, I have the entire collection of them, of all the different models, but these are just some of my favorite models that I thought I would share with you today. These, I have a whole bunch of Kobuns, both serrated and not serrated. Let's do this like this, huh? Are we gonna make it? Are we gonna make it? I don't know if we're gonna make it. Figure out a way to put these all on the table. Interesting. 2 more to go. Can we make it? The drums are rolling. Gotta make some room here. 2 more of the big boys, too. Boom. Boom. All right, we made it. We made it. There they are. There they are. My fixed blades. I have a lot more fixed blades than I thought I had. I didn't really realize I had that many fixed blades until I went through my stuff the other day, through my knives, because I need to make more room for things. And I thought it'd be a good time to bring these out because, for self-defense reasons, you know, these are all self-defense fixed blades. None of these are hunting knives. None of these are wood crafting knives. None of these are for that. These are people fighting knives. These are self-defense, combat style knives. The intention for these was to defend their owners. So I just want to put that out there. These are some serious blades that I would highly recommend for self-defense purposes. You know, if you need to find yourself in the urban combat or what have you, if you're going into military combat with a military, you know, squad or whatever, I would definitely recommend having carry knives that are coated. Coated, you know, black, you know, a non-glare knife. You don't want to take one of these shiny knives. You want to take a non-glare knife into the field with your unit. You don't want to give away your position. But if you're in an urban environment, you know, like if you're a Ukrainian civilian or somebody like that, and you just need something to protect yourself with, bam, there they are right there. There they are right there. These knives are awesome for that. I take that back. These are hunting knives. These are the Outdoorsman's meant to be a hunting knife, but I think of it as a fighting knife because to me it looks like a Japanese Tonto. And this one right here is meant to be a survival knife, the SR1, but it's also basically, you know, like a K-bar. You know, it's like a fighting knife. But anyway, there they are. These are my favorites out of my collection. I have others, but I don't have enough room on my table to show you every knife I have. I do have some others that I do want to show you. I'm going to do one more video, and it's going to be the outrageous knives that I have. The ones I would call outrageous. Outrageous to the point where they're almost comical. But outrageous. But anyway, peace out. Stiletto. Hope everybody's having a great day. Peace.